So here's an app we put together for Champ Camp Lacrosse. This is the first one we've done for lacrosse. We've done lots and lots of apps for soccer tournaments and soccer clubs, and even some restaurants and medical practices. But this is the first lacrosse one we've done, and we're quite pleased with it. And I wanted to take you through the tabs we have and show you roughly how to navigate the app and think about things you might want to include in an app of your own. So we start off with the schedule. Now this is quite an involved tournament where each team rather plays up to 8 games, I believe. So this starts off with a round robin section, and all the games are scheduled by time and by location. And as the games unfold, the versus column in this thing can be turned into a score. So a game finishes, the score was 7-3 or 17-13 or what have you, and all of that can come through. And then what happens is, as those games in the early rounds unfold, the playoff round starts to take shape, and we can upload this information live in the app as the games are going on. So as a team wins particular games in the opening round, the information can be very easily uploaded into the app, so that they know where they're going to be in the subsequent rounds. So a really good way to let teams know without having to log onto the website, which they may not have when they're on the field. They can go in and know where the next game's going to be and who they're going to be playing against. Send us a photo. This is a neat feature that a lot of apps are using. It's a great way for people to sort of interact with everybody else at the event or in the club. So you can have you can either take a photo right here and now with your phone, or you can choose a phone from your phone's gallery, or choose a photo rather from your phone's gallery, and then send it in. Now when they send it in, it does not necessarily go live right away. Instead it goes to the app manager's dedicated email, and then what they can do is they can put a gallery together. They can very easily upload it into the gallery, and now you've got these photographs in here. That's a better way of doing it. You don't want to have photographs going live without any kind of moderation, because you never know what kind of photographs you might get uploaded. Boys will be boys, as they say, and you may end up with some photographs on your gallery that you didn't particularly want. Announcements. This is the most popular feature of our apps, and it's what's otherwise known in the industry as push notifications. We call them announcements, and it's just a really great way for the organization to keep in touch and post information about various things that are going on with the event. So if you have a weather situation and a field becomes unplayable and you have to quickly change fields at the last minute. With some of our soccer apps, it can be as simple as a game going to overtime or going to PKs and now having to be delayed for the subsequent games that are supposed to be taking place on that field afterwards. So you can put a very quick announcement out through push notification saying something along the lines of the game on field 13 has now been rescheduled to field 15. So this could be lost property, it could be checkout times, it could be not even restricted to the event itself. It could be several weeks before the event, saying don't forget you've got to get paperwork in on time, don't forget to get the medical releases signed and sent to us. Any number of different announcements that you might want to make, and it goes directly to everybody who has the app on their phone and pops up on the front of their phone just like a text message. So text messages are, I think 90% of text messages get responded to within 90 seconds. The average email gets responded to within 90 minutes if you're lucky. So it's a really good way to make sure you're getting timely announcements into the hands of people who need them. Tell the team. This is a neat feature that just sort of allows the app to be shared. So you can share it by email, by Facebook, by Twitter, any number of different ways. So the coach has this on their app and they say, I want everyone on the team to be aware of it, and they'll send an email out, a blanket email to everybody on their team. And by the way, this email can be easily filled in. The to field can be filled in from the phone's address book. So if you've got every member of the team and every parent in your address book, you can very quickly and easily fill this in, send it out to everybody, and it just gives the actual link to download the app. So it's just a really neat way to get folks aware of the app, get it onto as many phones as possible quickly and easily. The More tab, this takes us to a whole bunch of different things we just did. The gallery. Email us is just a contact tab, just saying, hey, you can reach out to us, give us information about who you are, and we'll get right back to you. Field locations, this is the big one. Uses the GPS of the phone. This particular event had 4 different fields in different locations throughout town, and this is very typical of a tournament event where you've got maybe thousands of people descending on a town and they don't really know their way around. They don't know their way to the fields, they don't necessarily know their way to various hotels or restaurants around town. This section can be used to give them those directions. So they click on the field, there's a map, it takes them straight to the field, and up here in the top right hand corner they can get turn by turn directions from wherever they happen to be, straight to the field. So much easier than going to someone's website, printing off something and trying to read that as they're driving along. Weather. Since it's an outdoor sport to many people, lacrosse obviously is very dependent on weather, and just a tab to sort of let folks know as they're sitting in the hotel room trying to plan what to bring clothes wise for the day. Just nice to know what the weather's going to be like later on this afternoon, whether to bring umbrellas and all those good things. Sponsors. Every tournament has sponsors, and we can put links through to any number of different sponsors, and those sponsors could be hotels, for example, and put links directly through to hotels that are being used for the event. Similarly, it could be for restaurants in town or various attractions, things that families might want to do besides just playing lacrosse. That could all be put into the sponsors tab, or we could create separate tabs for hotels, restaurants and attractions. Emergency contact info is fairly self-explanatory, just a good way to reach people if you have to. These are direct tap to call numbers or email, so very easy. Someone literally with a handful of equipment and barely able to even hold their phone can still make a phone call with one thumb. Information about us, this links directly to information about the tournament, what to bring, taken from their website, but nonetheless very convenient to have it right there in your phone. Lacrosse news, this is a fun little feature just for things people might want to do after the game, between the games, find out what's going on in the world of lacrosse. And finally, important links, and again this could be to social media. This particular event has a fairly strong social media presence on Facebook, but it could be to Pinterest, it could be YouTube, it could be Twitter, and of course a direct link to the event's website. So there you have it. It's a really neat feature. This particular client was delighted with the way it worked out. We had over 1,000 downloads for this event, for this particular app, and frankly going into next year we would expect to have even more. And as time goes by and people get more and more familiar with what apps can do, it'll be more unusual for events like lacrosse tournaments not to have an app than it will be for them to have one. And I do believe that an app will become as essential for running a successful tournament as a website is today. So we'd love to build something similar for your event. If that's something you'd like to talk to us about, feel free to click any of the links on this email or reply to the email, and we'd love to help you out. Thanks very much.